Hey, y'all, welcome to Movie Minds.
Welcome back.
Top 3
Social distancing movies. Movies that are based on isolation. People and their characters are in isolation.
I have
pretty
no
much.
idea why we're doing this kind of video.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like I don't know.
nothing to
This is
do.
pointless and has we don't know what social distancing is.
Social, we always like to be real close
Yeah.
to one another all the time. A lot of people are going through it right now that they can't get together and party. Trust me, I have people on my social media that are like going crazy
they're
because
losing
they
their hair
can't
right
go to karaoke or to whatever they do.
Yeah.
So social distancing movies, man. This is our top 3
Yes.
movies for that. So
Yeah.
you want to start or do you want me to
For
start?
sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
So we are talking about characters that are going to be away from everyone, or for the most part of their movie, and we thought about some that were really fun and unique. I mean, some of us were gonna say some of the classics, but right now I want to start off with one that starts on Earth but doesn't end there, and that is WALL-E, Pixar's WALL-E. 2008 animated film that I believe that everyone on Earth has seen except for this guy right here.
I have not. Yeah. I have not seen him. I don't know.
I
why.
think that WALL-E is probably one of those films that cemented Pixar as the king of animation, really, during those times. I mean, there's a few things coming out like Toy Story and
so
stuff like that.
is it really that goodish? Yeah.
I would say, I would argue, and I can't wait to do this because I don't know if I could put it on number 1 because I think there's other films that are better, but this film has so much heart and there's almost no dialogue in this film. There's almost no dialogue, but you know what WALL-E's going through, which is he's a robot that he's pretty much assigned to clean the earth, and that's what he's doing forever, pretty much. And he goes through a routine. He becomes a bit self-aware, really, and he goes through his whole journey about learning the ability or the possibility of bringing mankind back to Earth. At this futuristic world, there's no people on Earth because we have so much junk that destroyed the Earth, pretty much. It made it unlivable. And then you have this little robot, which is the hero of the story, and you see his journey about growth and about just becoming, bigger than what he was created for. You know what I mean? It's such a great tone of it. But you know what? The silence of the film is part of the kind of like the character of it,
I gotta check this out, man.
Dude, WALL-E, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh yeah, do WALL-E. Please, I mean, go to Disney Plus right now. I don't know, actually after our video and watch it. This is some great, if you haven't watched it, man, you got to check this out.
Dude, I've not watched WALL-E. People have told me so many great things about it, and I'm a big Pixar fan.
Yeah.
And I just haven't had a time I just don't think of it. It's one of those movies I just don't think of, but I'm definitely check it out.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of big cult classic scenes from that film. You will.
Really?
You'll be like, oh, that's where it's from. Yeah, you will.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. So I'm gonna be able to put the puzzle together.
Oh yes.
Nice. Okay, so my number 3 on this list is gonna be Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney.
Dude, that film makes me nervous.
Really?
Yeah, tense like
it is. Man. It is one of those movies that you feel like you're claustrophobic. Like if you were a claustrophobic person, you probably won't like this movie. I loved it. It really shows the struggle that Sandra does such a great job in portraying a person that is trying to do whatever it takes to try to survive out there in the gravity. And it's all about this woman that works in one of the naval stations and space stations. I'm sorry. And explosion happens, things like that. But I love George Clooney in this.
Oh, dude, bro. Yes, I forgot about him.
And the thing is with George Clooney, okay, the part that he's in this movie, he blows me away. That's why he's just George Clooney, man.
Yeah.
Dude, the part that he's in and, the sacrifice, everything he does in this movie is just written perfect
For him.
to be for George
his
Clooney.
dialogue that he has with her.
Yeah.
And during a scene, I'm like, man, who thinks about writing this? I could sometimes feel like, man, did George Clooney come up with this? Like, I feel like that's something that he always portrays in films, you know?
If I ever have like a crisis or like zombies or like anything happens, dude, I pray that George Clooney, I can talk to him and he just like guides me through everything I have to do, and I'd listen just because he's just so great in this movie. Sandra Bullock, when she's out there all alone by herself, she's the little things that she does to be able to survive, guys, and the emotion in this movie is incredible. The cinematography, I don't even have to say, guys, it's one of the best space isolation movies that you'll ever see. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Gravity, Sandra Bullock, George Clooney. You guys will not regret it. It's my number 3.
Absolutely, yeah. Dude, I love that film. You guys got to watch it. Okay, so number 2 for me, I think I've mentioned this film in something else, but I have to bring it up. It's just so good. Unfortunately, Quiet Place 2 didn't come out because of the whole
Quiet Place is
crisis.
Great. That's your number 2?
But Quiet Place 1 is my number 2. That film's isolation of a family, not just one character, but a whole family that can't speak. Again, silence is a huge character in this film. Like if you've seen it, right? Yes. So during this whole film, there's a whole like, apocalyptic event that, aliens took over the planet. But they're sensitive to hearing and they can't really see, but they could hear like better than anything else that has ever existed.
Right.
And so they're guided by that. So now you follow this family that has a kid that's deaf, and that she, all she does is communicate through sign language. And that's part of their benefit throughout the whole film. Mm-hmm. And they have to stay away from a lot of people. You see how this family build a future for themselves or build a life around it. And the wife is pregnant, and they go through this whole process of having to deal with a birth. And I know some of you moms out there that have gone through that, how not quite that experience is. So they go through this whole process of being in life and death situations. But the soulness of it, or like the aloneness of the family is just so good. I love the way they portrayed isolation in this.
I love the heart of this movie. Yeah. Quiet Place is one of my favorite movies that's going to go down as an alien movie to me. But it's an isolation movie. Absolutely. The way that the struggle, right? The walking on sand so they don't, make noise. They prepare everything so that they're able to go and shop and get some, some essentials. Yeah. And so you see the world that they've created there. Quiet Place is a great isolation movie, dude. Yeah. That's one of the best ones.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. You guys got to check it out. I think it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, with Emily Blunt and John Krasinski.
Yeah, Jim from The Office.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. Yep. Number 2 from my isolation movies is a film created by none other than one of my favorite directors of all time, and Robert Zemeckis. Castaway with Tom Hanks.
That's your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my number 2. So the reason why it's my number 2, because my number 1 is I love it. Of course, right? But this movie, dude, when it came out, I actually was on the late train when it came out.
Really?
Because
no way.
Because I love Tom Hanks, right? Yeah. And so the reason why is because it's a long movie, guys. It's a pretty long movie. Mm-hmm. The areas of the movie that I saw once before I saw it were like, okay, this guy's just, you just see it to see it. It's like this guy's on an island, and I don't know. I was never very interested in watching it for the longest time, and so it wasn't until it wasn't until actually I think it was TBS. I don't know. It was on TV or something.
You waited till it hit like basic cable?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how long it took me to watch it. And this is Robert Zemeckis. I love this director. I just didn't get a chance. Never. That just goes to show, guys. Sometimes I see something and I'm just like not very interested in watching it, and it becomes and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, but then it becomes forever and I don't. And so then eventually I did, and I loved the movie, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I took this long to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, Tom Hanks is a wizard, man. That's why he's just revered so well, and that's why he gets these kind of roles like Todd Phillips and Sully and all these films that are just biopics from the Mr. Rogers movie. This movie is a great start as to why people notice Tom Hanks in a way, and it stars Helen Hunt, and it's about a guy, I'm sure you guys know it, and Wilson the Ball, and he's in an island and he works for FedEx. It crashes and he has to survive, and so the movie gets really, really, really good as far as what happens when he does get back to civilization. And so it's just the in and outs of that movie are great. I love the heart in this movie and the situations that you put a human being through, and they're very real situations, which makes him, I'm sure things like this have happened in maybe a smaller degree, but still happens in that same way. And I love the emotion that it gets out. It makes you think as well if what would happen if you were in that kind of situations. But I love Castaway, dude. I love, and that ball. It was so funny, dude. I would never get the jokes that they would make over that ball.
Dude, that was years.
Of course, it makes so much sense now, dude. But Castaway is my number 2, man. What'd you think?
Yeah, Castaway is one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies of all time, for sure. I
love the weight that he lost, right?
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, that's total dedication right there from Tom Hanks. The story towards the end, the whole Helen Hunt. With that her role and their relationship and seeing how things change, because I think he was on the island for like 10 years or something like that.
Was it that long?
I think it was like 10 or 15 years or something like that, dude. It was crazy, like a long time.
Wow.
That whole coming back to home, and just spoiler alert, that was just heartbreaking. You guys got to watch it, dude. If you want some isolation tips, Tom Hanks has it for you on Castaway.
For sure, dude. We're blessed.
Yeah. That movie made me want to look up how to make a fire. Like, I didn't know how to even like start, or like even like, what do I get, like rocks, or like do I get like paper? I have no idea. I had no idea. I now have a better chance of surviving in a deserted island because of Tom Hanks. Thank you.
Yeah,
and he's healed, by the way, from Corona. He's actually recovered and stuff like that in the U.S.
US with his wife, and they're back and they're recovered, and thank God, man.
Yeah, thank God for that, man. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my number 1. So if anybody has isolation down packed and knows what to do by himself for a very, very long time, is Matt Damon, y'all. Matt Damon did 2 isolations, actually. One was an Interstellar, which we had that on number 1 last week, which you could talk about that later. But right now, I'm going to talk about The Martian. Matt Damon is stranded on Mars for I don't know how many cycles or lunar cycles, but for months he gets left behind because they thought he was dead after a freak accident that happened on a Mars mission. And on the way, the crew on the way back finds out that Matt Damon's character Mark is alive, and now they have to figure out how to go back to Mars, save his life, and recover him. But they have all these different problems throughout the whole mission that makes you think that this guy has no chance whatsoever to survive. Man, this movie directed actually by I know who it is. Ridley Scott, of course.
Scott, yes.
Ridley Scott does an amazing job. Yes. And this for comedy though, which is stupid. But anyway, it's not a comedy. Well, there's a few comedic tones to it, moments to it, but dude, trust me. So Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kristen Wiig, Jeff Daniels, dude, Michael Pena. dude. Michael
Peña's in
Pena.
there.
There's Benedict Wong, dude, and so many other,
So
like
many.
even Donald Glover was part of it as well. So his role is really cool too. I really like.
I've seen it. I don't remember it very well, but
Oh my gosh, those whole story about him being alone, he needs to figure out how to feed
check it out.
himself.
I'm gonna rewatch it.
He needs to figure out how to survive with oxygen because his oxygen is very, very limited. He needs to figure out how to not go insane. And dude, I'm just telling you, this guy uses his poop in a variety of ways, man. And he inspired me to look up more about poop. I was joking.
You know,
But
this
dude,
movie's great, dude. I love it. I remember watching it. I remember the premise. I just don't. I have to watch it again. I think I've seen it only once. Dude, everybody's getting their astronaut movies, right? Brad Pitt, A.D. Astra.
Oh yeah, that's
What's
another
his-
good isolation movie.
Ryan Gosling has his I don't remember
Man
what
to
it's
the Moon?
called. A Man to
Sounds
the Moon
alright.
movie.
I didn't really like that movie.
And there was just so many that maybe we should like do the best
Top
the
movie.
astronaut movie or
The astronaut
something.
movies, yeah.
But this movie's great, guys. Martian, Matt Damon. I love the way they approach this movie, dude, and how he gets isolated up there, and it really shows you what would one would. I love what he does with the potatoes, and everything. And you guys know what I mean when you watch it. But
You just gotta watch it, man.
The Martian, man, great number,
Dude, you got to watch it.
And that's your number one, right?
That's my number one.
That's
guys.
great.
Check it out.
Okay, here goes my number one, guys. And if you guys agree with it, then great. If you guys don't, this is isolation movie from me. Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, guys.
Everybody's like, what
Home Alone. Yes, that kid was isolated by himself in that house, and imagine
You're right.
to a kid that
You're
age, two freaking thieves wanting to come in and steal your home and possibly kill you or kidnap you or whatever is probably the same fright that one would go through on the moon, isolated,
That's
trying to
so
survive.
good. That's so good.
So let me tell you a little bit about why I picked this movie. Kevin doesn't want to stay with his mom. Everybody knows the story.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. It's an awesome movie. I can't believe anyone has not seen
It's like a Christmas
this
film
movie.
too, by the way.
It is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
It is also an isolation film.
Yeah.
The kid does a bunch of crazy stuff. If you guys haven't watched it, especially for all you millennials out there that probably haven't checked out Home Alone. What's the thing after millennials?
Gen X or something.
Gen X. I'm sure some of you Gen X people
Gen Z, I think,
have not seen it. Check out Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin. Joe Pesci comes out in it, guys. The great Oscar-winning Joe Pesci. We also have Daniel Dern and Daniel Stern. I'm sorry.
Have you seen a Netflix documentary about how that movie almost didn't get made?
I did.
Dude, that documentary is amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
I noticed in that documentary that Daniel Stern, the Harry, or no, he wasn't Harry, he was Marv.
Yeah.
He was Marv. They had picked someone else for his role.
And he like filmed and everything.
And I think it was Jeff Daniels.
No, I don't think it was Jeff Daniels.
It wasn't Jeff Daniels.
No, it was someone else.
It was someone else. But anyway, they filmed the movie with him, and it just didn't work for John Hughes.
Yeah,
the
dude.
great John, passing R.I.P. John Hughes, and you love it, right? And you also see that the great John Candy, that also passed away back then, came out in a
just for like a few minutes. Yeah,
dude. And we should just do a review on it just one day. But
for Christmas.
That is definitely an isolation movie for me.
Yeah, dude, Kevin is probably the isolation king, dude.
Yes, dude.
That dude survived at home. He played around. You get some tips on what to do in isolation so you won't get insane.
And he was scared after a while. He was just like, where's my mom?
Right,
where's my
for
dad?
sure.
Where's my family? And so he was definitely concerned.
A classic. No one can argue that. That's absolutely a classic.
Home Alone, my number one, guys.
That was good.
It's a classic. Check it out.
Yeah.
Let us know what your guys' top 3 isolation films are. Comment below.
Yeah. Like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And don't forget to stay movie-minded.
Yeah.
Peace.
That's right. Home Alone.
Can't believe you